Did you know that your car costs you a lot of wealth? I have some real data using my actual car that I want to share with you today. So make sure you stay to the end for the total cost that my car has cost me so you can know how much your car probably costs you. The short answer is that it actually costs a lot more than most people think. Now let's apply some little things here. So my car, the car that I actually purchased was a 2011 Toyota Prius. Yes, please hold your applause. It actually had, it was used because that is a very smart thing to do if you're buying a car, is to buy used because you pay a lot less. So it had 68,657 miles on it when I bought it, okay? So not brand new car. And it was September 4th, 2017. That was actually when I bought the car. This is a car ownership over 45 months. What is that? 12, 24, 36, almost 4 years. Okay, so almost 4 years. Not quite just yet, but I just couldn't wait to make this video. So I had to do it with 45 months instead of 48 months instead of 4 years. So the actual price that I paid for this particular vehicle was $11,872. Okay, that was the actual total price. That is the price at the dealership plus all the taxes and fees. So basically I wrote out a check, not really, I don't write out checks, but I paid $11,872 and I paid that with cash, no financing. And so you are going to actually see how much this car has cost me so far for 48 months, and I'll turn that into a monthly figure so everyone can understand it. Now, the opportunity cost is probably one of the biggest costs that most people have with anything that they buy, and that is included with a car because it is generally a pretty large purchase. If you put that instead, that $11,872 that I put into the car, instead if you put that into VTSAX, which was Vanguard's total US stock market that everyone likes to use, including myself as an example. Well, in September of 2017, the cost of VTSAX was $63.05 per share. If you would have bought it you would have 188.23 shares. So $11,872 divided by the $63.05. That should get you 188.23. Hopefully I did my math right on that. Fast forward to today, well, at least recently. So in June of 2021, VTSAX was worth $106.12 per share. And so if you had those 188.23 shares, I'm going to multiply that by the current price, which was 106.12, and that would equal me to $19,975. Now, hopefully there wasn't any kind of split or anything in the price, so I'm assuming that didn't happen. So $19,975, and then we divide that by the 45 months, and that is actually $443.89 that I have lost to opportunity cost in my vehicle. $443.89 of opportunity cost per month. So we're already a pretty expensive purchase. It's already very, very evident. And then the next pretty large thing that you're usually going to pay for is depreciation. Now, lucky for me, I bought a used car that already had 68,000 miles on it, and so my depreciation was a lot less than what most people's going to be, what most people are going to experience when they buy a vehicle, especially if you're buying a new vehicle. Then your depreciation is going to be like, okay, so the current mileage right now about what I have is 118,500 miles. Okay, so that you can say I've already put a lot of miles on that car. So 118,500, I subtract what I originally bought it for. It has 68,657, so that is $49,843. I'm pretending like I'm doing it ahead, but I really have it written down right here. So 49,843 miles, that's how much I have driven it. When I go to Kelley Blue Book, the value, so I try to find the current value of it, they say that my car is currently worth $6,883. Yeah, a lot of money, right? So you subtract the original purchase price from your current KBB value, and that should be about how much your car has depreciated. So $11,872, that's how much I purchased it for. Then $6,883, that's how much the KBB value currently is. Subtract that out, that is $4,988. That is my depreciation. That's how much I have lost to depreciation. That's how much the car has gone down in value. I can take that number, divide that by the amount of months that I've owned it, so in this case 45 months, and that gives me $110.85 per month of depreciation. So every month that I've owned it, I have lost $110.83 to the value just going down. And then the next most important and most expensive part of owning a vehicle is the actual gas that you pay for it. Now, I'll be honest with you, I didn't actually track every single dollar I spent on gas, because that would be a little bit more unreasonable, you know, especially if you're filling your tank 2 or 3 times per month, which a lot of the other expenses that I actually did track is a lot less and a lot easier to track. So I didn't actually track gas. So I'm going to give you an estimate here. So 49,843, that's how many miles I drove it. I get about an average of 50 miles per gallon with that, you know, that gas hog machine because it is a hybrid vehicle, and so it gets pretty good gas mileage. If I divide that into it, that's an average of about 997 gallons of gas that I have used since I've owned it, apparently. And so if I have to take an estimate of, you know, what's the average gas price I have actually paid, and for most of my car's life, they have spent in a very expensive gas state, which is California, and so that was probably going to be a lot more expensive than this estimate. But for this easy math here, I'm going to go with $3 per gallon on average. $3 per gallon. Multiply that by 997 gallons total estimate, and that estimates me at $2,991 total that I have spent in gas using this estimate. Now we can take that, divide that by 45 months. And that gives us $66.47 per month in gas. That's the third most expensive expense. Now, the next most expensive expense was my insurance, which actually I think I got a pretty good deal on insurance because I only buy liability insurance. Now, that's a whole nother story. So I keep my insurance costs pretty low. So $2,051 I have paid total, from September to December, and that is through December of 2021, but I'm only calculating for June of 2021, so I have to make a little bit of an adjustment here. So that is actually 51 months of insurance that I have currently paid up for. What I'm going to do in order to calculate our monthly thing here is I'm going to take that $2,051 that I paid total, divide that by 51 months to find our average monthly, and in this case it is $40.26 per month of an average insurance bill that I have paid for this vehicle. But we're not done yet. There's still plenty of more expenses to add up here, and again, we're going to have that total cost at the end. But before we move on to that, if you're liking this video so far, please help me out and make sure you like it, give it a thumbs up. It really does help me out. I really do appreciate that. Let's spread this message to more people so they can see that their car really is costing them a lot more than they might think. Okay, so next up we have here is registration. Now again, I used to live in California, so it was really expensive to register a vehicle there. A lot less for the kind of vehicle that I had, but still pretty pricey. So it was $698 of total that I have paid for my registration. Divide that by monthly ownership of 45 months, and we're talking $15.51 per month in ownership costs for registration only, just to have the car registered and say, yep, this is my car. Now that was really expensive before, but luckily for me, it's gone down dramatically since I've moved into the state of Tennessee. Okay, so it's like $30 a year instead of $230 a year. The next most expensive thing that I have paid for is my tires. Okay, so I've actually only replaced the tires once since I've owned the entire thing, but I've changed it once, and then the tire rotations, those are free and included with tires, so luckily I haven't had to pay for those. But I paid a total of $449 to replace all 4 tires on that car. Divide that in by 45 months, and that will give me $9.98 per month that those tires have cost me. Okay, we're almost getting there. We have a few more expenses to go. The oil changes is the next most expensive thing. For me anyway, I had to change it every 10,000 miles according to the maintenance manual, and so that is what I have done. Some people change it a lot more often, but I just follow whatever it says on there. Now, $406 total that I have paid for my oil changes, okay? Now I'm gonna divide that by 45 months, and I have $9.02 per month that I have paid just for the oil and stuff in the car. And next, what I have for you right here is maintenance and repairs. Now, I have very thankful because I've never had any major repairs, and if you have had major repairs, then you know how costly those can be, and you know that that's going to add, you know, to your total ownership costs a lot more. But thankfully, I have not yet, knock on fake wood for my desk. Luckily, I have not had any major repairs, but I do have, you know, those minor maintenance things that you have to do. And so total for maintenance and repairs so far, I have paid $358. Divide that in by the 45 months of ownership, and we have $7.96 per month. Now, we can add all of these up together to find my total cost of ownership for 45 months ownership of a used Prius. Now I'm going to round these numbers up a little bit, round them up and down just to make it a little bit easier. Opportunity cost, $443 per month. Depreciation, about $111 per month. Gas, about $67 per month. Insurance, about $40 per month. Registration, about $16 per month. Tires, about $10 per month. oil changes, $9 per month, and other maintenance and repairs, $8 per month, and total $704 per month that it has cost me just to have the nice little Toyota Prius that is used sitting in my driveway for the majority of its life. $704. And keep in mind, that's with no major repairs. That's a very cheap car, that's a used car, and maybe $704 doesn't sound very much to you, but I can almost guarantee if you have a brand new car, then your cost per ownership is probably, if you include opportunity cost, probably double and maybe even triple the amount that I have paid. The real cost of car ownership is a lot more than you might think. The real cost of many things, the real cost of lots of expenses that you have in life is probably more than you really think. And that's why the next thing that you really do need to do is watch a video that I created about minimizing your expenses and achieving financial independence. Because minimizing your expenses, getting them down to a really low amount, but also making sure that you have plenty of fun in your life, that is really important if you want to take control of your finances, and especially if you want to achieve financial independence. So if you haven't watched that video, make sure you watch it. It's gonna pop up right next to me somewhere when the end screen goes on. So check that video out because I think it can really help you out. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm Zach from OnCashflow.com, and I hope to see you next time.